Welcome to Scriptural Science, a presentation of Truth and Life Institute, Boston, Massachusetts, and Oba, Nigeria. The following is a subsection of the book, Revive Your Marriage Instantly by Obeying God, written and published by Ifeanyi Chukwujima, scriptural scientist and a servant of God. This subsection's ID is Revive Your Marriage by Obeying God 4:1. About husbands who fail to take charge of their family. When a man fails or refuses to take charge and lead courageously as God commanded, God gives the honor he would have received to a woman that is deserving of it, because the man is dishonoring the God who extended the authority and power to him. If you are the type of husband who prefers to take the back seat because you are unsure of yourself, blame yourself for any consequences that result in your life from your lack of desire to rise to the occasion. Your lack of trust in your God would deny you of God's help and assistance, which you would have received if you had accepted your destiny and run with it. And if you cannot provide spiritual leadership to your wife and your children, you cannot provide any meaningful leadership to them. You have made yourself irrelevant and have to suffer the consequences of your own lack of courage and your mistrust of God. And remember, when you abandon your responsibility, God will give it to another person who is willing and ready to fulfill them. Your wife may be placed in charge if you fail to answer God's call. And God calls every man to spirituality and godliness before he calls him to anything else. And God is always ever present to help everyone navigate through life. We must all be ready and willing to respond to God's call. The world we live in is God's world. We are only getting accommodated by him. When Deborah, the prophet, was leading Israel, Jabin, king of Canaan, cruelly oppressed Israel, and the Israelites cried out to God. God asked Deborah to summon Barak to assemble an army and go to war against the Canaanites, but Barak said that he would do so if the prophet Deborah came with him, otherwise he would not go. And the prophet agreed to go with him, but warned Barak that because of his refusal to take charge on his own as God instructed, the honor of winning the war would go to a woman, not to Deborah, but to another woman. And God was not joking. The woman in question ended up killing the commander of the enemy's army, who was on the run after his army was soundly defeated by the Israelites. Barak and the Israelite soldiers defeated the enemy army, but it was a housewife that got the honor of killing the brave commander of the enemy army. That woman was Jael, the wife of Heber, a descendant of Hobab. And Hobab was Moses' brother-in-law who came to the promised land with the Israelites. Zipporah has got something here to be proud of. One of her relatives was honored by God for capping the victory for Israel over a formidable enemy. Because Barak did not boldly take charge as God commanded through Deborah the prophet, Barak won the battle, but the housewife, Jael, had the honor of killing Sisera, the commander of the enemy army. Jael, the housewife, agreed to give the fugitive commander a cover from the chasing Israelite army, but ended up fatally pegging his head to the ground while he slept comfortably in her home. By killing the commander, she won the war for Israel, and her valor was memorialized in a song sang by all Israelites. She instantly became a hero throughout Israel. God gave the highest honor of the war to a housewife who was home doing her house chores when the highly sought prize walked into her home for protection. Through calm and careful calculations, she made the fugitive place his life into her hands. And God gave her the victory, for what she had accomplished was no ordinary feat. Jael was not a warrior, but she followed her spirit and got the job done because God had brought her the honor. Without the quick action of the witty female prophet, Barak, who led the Israelite men to victory over the strong Canaanite army, could have become a footnote in the housewife's victory dance, like King Saul became when David killed Goliath. The prophet Deborah made sure that Barak was remembered for obeying God and defeating a strong army for the security of his people, even though he hesitated a little. Any one of the thousands of the Israelite men fighting in the war could have killed the commander, but God gave that honor to a woman who was not even at the war front, but nonetheless needed to have the honor. And when the opportunity presented itself, the favored woman knew exactly what to do and how to get it accomplished in a stunning fashion. Here is the victory song Prophet Deborah wrote to celebrate the Israelites' victory over the formidable Sisera and his powerful Canaanite army. And Israel had peace for 40 years following that extraordinary victory. The Song of Deborah. 2. When the princes in Israel take the lead, when the people willingly offer themselves, praise the Lord. 3. Hear this, you kings. Listen, you rulers. I, even I, will sing to the Lord. I will praise the Lord, the God of Israel, in song. For when you, Lord, went out from Seir, when you marched from the land of Edom, the earth shook, the heavens poured, the clouds poured down water. 5. The mountains quaked before the Lord, the one of Sinai, before the Lord, the God of Israel. 6. In the days of Shamgar son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were abandoned, travelers took winding paths. 7. Villagers in Israel would not fight. They held back until I, Deborah, arose, until I arose. Amather in Israel. 8. God chose new leaders when war came to the city gates, but not a shield or spear was seen among 40,000 in Israel. 9. My heart is with Israel's princes, with the willing volunteers among the people. Pray the Lord. 10. You who ride on white donkeys, sitting on your saddle blankets, and you who walk along the road, consider 11 the voice of the singers at the watering places. They recite the victories of the Lord, the victories of his villagers in Israel. Then the people of the Lord went down to the city gates. 12. Wake up, Deborah. Wake up, break out in song. Arise, Barak. Take captive your captives, son of Abinoam. 13. The remnant of the nobles came down. The people of the Lord came down to me against the mighty. 14. Some came from Ephraim, whose roots were in Amalek. Benjamin was with the people who followed you. From Machir captains came down, from Zebulun those who bear a commander's staff. 15. The princes of Issachar were with Deborah. Yes, Issachar was with Barak, sent under his command into the valley. In the districts of Reuben there was much searching of heart. 16. Why did you stay among the sheep pens to hear the whistling for the flocks? In the districts of Reuben there was much searching of heart. 17. Gilead stayed beyond the Jordan. And Dan, why did he linger by the ships? Asher remained on the coast and stayed in his coves. 18. The people of Zebulun risked their very lives, so did Naphtali on the terraced fields. 19. Kings came, they fought, the kings of Canaan fought. At Tanakh, by the waters of Megiddo, they took no plunder of silver. 20. From the heavens the stars fought, from their courses they fought against Sisera. 21. The river Kishon swept them away, the age-old river, the river Kishon. March on, my soul, be strong. 22. Then thundered the horses' hooves, galloping. Galloping go his mighty steeds. 23. Curse Meroz, said the angel of the Lord. Curse its people bitterly, because they did not come to help the Lord against the mighty. 24. Most blessed of women be Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. Most blessed of tent-dwelling women. 25. He asked for water, and she gave him milk. In a bowl fit for nobles, she brought him curdled milk. 26. Her hand reached for the tent peg, her right hand for the workman's hammer. She struck Sisera, she crushed his head, she shattered and pierced his temple. 27. At her feet he sank, he fell, there he lay. Other feet he sank, he fell, where he sank, there Hephel dead. 28. Through the window peered Sisera's mother. Behind the lattice she cried out, why is his chariot so long in coming? Why is the clatter of his chariots delayed? 29. The wisest of her ladies answer her, indeed, she keeps saying to herself. 30. Are they not finding and dividing the spoils, a woman or two for each man, colorful garments as plunder for Sisera, colorful garments embroidered, highly embroidered garments. For my neck, all this is plunder. 31. So may all your enemies perish, Lord. But may all who love you be like the sun when it rises in its strength. Then the land had peace 40 years. Judges 5 verses 1 to 31. Any man that fails to take the responsibility God had given to him over his family loses the honor that comes with leading one's family. In a similar way, any man that fails to take the responsibility God had given to him over his family stands to lose the honor that comes with cheerfully accepting the responsibility and running with it. Barak did not have to insist on the prophet going with him because whenever God sends anybody to do anything, God always accompanies the person. When you obey and do as God says to do, you can always count on him being there for you. All you husbands, go ahead and be the spiritual leader of your family and bring God's blessing into your marriage, your family, and your life. Every good reward of which your wife is one comes from God. Look to her with kind heart and great appreciation to God for her presence in your life and gain your prize. And all you wives, submit to your husbands in reverence to Jesus Christ and his Father and receive God's immense blessings for your obedience of God. You are a wife of noble character. You are that which is good, God's vessel for love and empowerment, his favor and inheritance, and your rewards await you.